Meet the WiMiUS G1, your next level home theatre experience in one sleek package. Powered by Google TV, it brings all your favourite streaming apps straight to your fingertips. With its built-in voice control, just say what you want and let the G1 deliver your content. Thanks to Chromecast, you can share your photos and videos with just a tap. It features full automatic Keystone correction and smart screen alignment. The G1 adjusts itself to give you a perfectly framed image every single time. Let's now dive in and see how it performs in the real world. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out another full HD smart projector that punches well above its price. This is the G1, which is WiMiUS's latest projector in their budget-friendly lineup. Up front, the G1 looks quite modern with its black and silver styling. It comes with a plastic lens cap to protect the lens when not in use, which is great. On the right here we have an autofocus camera, and it's how the projector corrects the image automatically. On the side is a heatsink, and it's where the projector expels all the heat to keep it cool. Round the back we have two 10-watt speakers, one USB port, one HDMI, one IR receiver and one headphone jack. On this side of the machine is the power input and a removable dust filter. And on the bottom of the machine is a 1/4 inch tripod thread, so you can mount this projector onto a stand or a mini tripod. Underneath the 4 rubber feet are further mounting holes, so you can mount this projector to a ceiling. On the bottom here is a screw out thread, which is for adjusting the height of the projected image. And on the top of the machine are manual controls, so if we lose the remote at any point, we can still operate this projector, which is nice to see. In the accessories box you get 2 dust swabs and a cleaning cloth, 1 user manual, 1 after sales card, 1 warranty card, 1 remote control, 1 power cable and a HDMI cable. And if you need them, here are the projection distances. And this is the remote with dedicated YouTube, Netflix and Prime buttons. When the machine's in standby, you get a blue LED. Power on the machine and the LED goes out. So those were the noise levels coming directly from the machine. If we move away a meter, this drops to around 38 decibels, which is perfectly acceptable in a small room. When you first power on the machine, it will automatically focus and keystone by itself. Just select the language you require and you will be asked to scan a QR code if you want to connect it to your Google account. I'm going to skip this step for now and select Setup with the remote instead. You can either connect it to the 2.4 or 5 GHz networks, as it accepts both. Just put in your Wi-Fi password and it should connect. And now we've connected, I found there to be already an update waiting for me, so I went ahead and did that update. I've sped up this update process in editing so you don't have to sit through it, But this was a painfully long update and it took almost an hour to complete. I'm not sure why it took this long, as I have super fast broadband, so I can only assume it was from very slow download servers, but I thought I would mention this in case you may experience the same. I reached out to WiMiUS and told them about this issue, so hopefully the manufacturer will soon start shipping the G1 with the new firmware already installed. And when you finally get to this stage, select all the apps you want to install and it will install these apps and finish off setting up the Google operating system. And as you can see from the screenshots, this whole process took me 55 minutes from start to finish. And now with this update applied, this new firmware improves installation performance, including autofocus and obstacle avoidance. It improves the Keystone correction and it optimizes system performance. So it was well worth the update. The machine will now automatically correct the image again and it will fine-tune the autofocus. Then it will look for all four corners of your screen if you have one, and it will make sure the screen fits perfectly inside your borders. You get a perfect image every time. I really love this feature and how good it works. So we've now switched over to my Amazon Fire Stick and it's accepting a 4K signal just fine. And as you can see, everything is running smoothly. And now we've switched back to the Google home screen. As you can see, this machine's operating system is super snappy with no lag or delay in the user interface. It's a pleasant and smooth experience. I'm trying to catch it out here and trying to make it stutter, but this projector's performance seems to be top notch. Now I don't have lots of apps installed currently, so this may slow down over time the more apps you install on the machine. But so far I'm impressed with the system's performance. So I'll now show you some of the settings on this projector. So in the autofocus section, we can autofocus the lens again if it never did it correctly the first time round. We can also manually fine-tune the lens ourselves if the projector doesn't do it to your liking, but overall this projector is pretty spot on when it comes to autofocus. And in the advanced settings, we can have the projector autofocus when you first power it on, or if you move the machine at any time. And in the auto keystone setting, if you have all the boxes ticked in the advanced settings like I do, you get a perfectly aligned image within the borders. If you don't have auto screen fit selected, it will not correct the image to fit your screen, but it will straighten the image perfectly. And in the manual keystone setting, we can manually correct all four corners if we need to. Then we have fit to screen, which you've seen multiple times now, but this is where the machine corrects the entire image for you, saving you the trouble. Now on some of the machines that I've tested, some do make mistakes and get the image slightly out of the borders, but the G1 seems to get the image spot on every time. In the zoom setting, we can decrease the image by 50%. And this is a new feature that I've not seen before. We can slightly move the projected image in all directions. And these are all the options in the advanced settings. We also have a Bluetooth speaker option, so we can directly play music from our phones straight to the projector. Now this wasn't working for me, which could be something to do with my phone, but the projector turns off during this process, and I'm assuming you should still be able to connect your phone while it's powered off. But my phone wasn't finding the Bluetooth device, so I couldn't connect and demonstrate this. Let me know in the comment section if you experienced the same problem, as this may be a firmware bug. These are all the projection modes available, and I thought this was a nice feature. You can see exactly how much power you have left in the remote control. Now these are all the picture presets available, but I found when on the home screen they didn't seem to make any effect on the image. These only seem to work when watching content through an app or when on a HDMI source. And if we go into the storage options, you will see that we've got just under 9 GB of storage available. I also downloaded the AIDA64 application so you could see the internals of this machine, and as you can see we have 2 GB of RAM and just under 9 GB of storage. And if this app is correct, this is the processor that the G1 is running on. So I hope that information was useful. Now when logging into Netflix, on Setup, if you connected the G1 to your Google Home account, it should already have your login details and it will log you straight into Netflix. And if you skip this step like I did, then scan the QR code on screen, make sure it's the correct number being displayed and select yes, and it should log you straight into Netflix. When logging into Netflix, I found the user interface to be very snappy with no lags or stuttering. Unfortunately, I can't show you anything playing from Netflix due to copyright reasons, but I had no issues when watching content during my testing. And when logging into Prime Video, it's exactly the same process. Just scan the QR code and it will log you straight in. Prime Video was also as smooth, and I had no issues when watching content. Google, what's the weather like?
Right now in Ramsgate it's 16 degrees and clear. Tuesday, there'll be light rain, with a high of 22 and a low of 16.
Google, tell me a funny joke.
Prepare to sew up your sides. What do you do if your boyfriend hates fruit jokes? You let the man go.
Best films on Netflix. Best films on Amazon Prime. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this level of quality from the WiMiUS G1. It has really impressed me. The clarity and detail this machine puts out at this price point is astonishing, and it handles every shade of colour and texture with precision. The colours of all the animals feel true to life, with pin-sharp detail in the animal's fur. Everything really pops on screen without it looking washed out and lifeless. The image quality is truly spectacular, especially in a fully blacked out room like you are seeing here. This little projector has far exceeded my expectations when it comes to performance and image clarity. But what do you guys think about this bit of video footage? Are you liking the colour accuracy and the level of detail within the image? Let me know in the comments down below. So as you would expect, we have fantastic level of detail in the stars and accurate Milky Way colours. Everything really pops, especially in the dark. But as soon as we turn the lights on, we lose all detail and colours get washed out significantly. So if you can, I highly recommend darkening the room as much as possible to get the best image out of your projector. Screen uniformity was also impressive, with no major darkening of the corners on solid coloured backgrounds. The only thing it struggles with a little is plain black backgrounds where you see some light bleed coming through. Moving on to the text sharpness, this was also great, with no major softening or blurring at the corners. Now sharpness is going to vary between some samples as they are not made equally with mass-produced products, but the sample I received was very good indeed, and I've been more than happy with the image sharpness during my testing. So when it comes to screencasting, this is how simple it is. Just click on the little box with the Wi-Fi logo next to it, and you can send photos and videos straight to the G1. So if you're wondering what specifications does the G1 allow on the Xbox, then here they are, and I hope this information helps. Moving on to gaming, I had absolutely no issues when it comes to gaming. Everything ran smoothly in my testing with no major lag or stuttering. Now it's definitely not the fastest in terms of input lag that I've tested, but you can certainly have an enjoyable gaming experience when playing games on the G1. Input lag comes in at around 65 milliseconds, which is certainly playable for casual type games. On to black level performance, I did notice an X-shaped light bleed pattern on solid black colours when nothing is being displayed on screen. This was exactly the same light bleed pattern as the Wambo X5 Pro I tested just a few weeks ago. Now, not all G1s are going to have this same pattern, some G1s may not even have it at all. But it's luck of the draw when it comes to screen uniformity, just like when buying TVs. This is not a major issue, and the image quality still looked great on dark scenes, but blacks could have been a little deeper if I'm honest. But I must point out, this was in the highest brightness mode, so blacks will be a lot deeper on the standard and eco settings, so it's worth giving them a try too. So let's work out the ANSI Lumen performance. This was on the highest brightness mode I divided the area into 9 different zones. I then took light meter readings in each zone. I then added up all the figures and divided them by 9 to get an average measurement. I then multiplied that average measurement by my screen size in square meters, and these were the results that I got. Coming in at 470 ANSI lumens, which was significantly brighter than the Yaesu K2S and the Wambo X5 Pro, which was very surprising to say the least. I'll now do a side-by-side comparison test so you can see the difference for yourselves between Projector models. I hope this image comparison helps you in making a more informative buying decision, as that's what I aim to do here on this channel. So my final thoughts on the WiMiUS G1. This projector pleasantly surprised me with its stellar image quality and its performance to price ratio. This projector doesn't just meet expectations, it straight up over delivers. If you've made it this far, you're exactly the kind of viewer I make these videos for. People who actually care about seeing how things perform in the real world, not just specs on a box. So if you're into honest reviews and no BS testing, and footage that actually shows what a product can do, please hit that subscribe button. Not because it's what YouTubers always say, but I'm trying to build a channel for people like you. If this video helped you out in any way, please drop it a like. That will hopefully push this video out to others just like you. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video soon.